So here, very clearly and carefully, Ashtavakra highlights that I am someone asangah iti. Tvam asangah shuddha tvam purnatvam. And if this is the case, tyaktyabhyam kimapi nasti. And interestingly, once one starts seeing dehati sanghatasya mithyatvam, that body-mind complex is nothing but is mithya, then what happens? Definitely, tada atmani layam swayameva. So one is abiding within one's own self, or you can say everything gets dissolved into one's own self. So that means what? This verse highlighted very carefully. This is what the most important point. That to do dissolution, or you can say dissolving, does not happen by any kriya, by any action, nor even if manonasha, by destroying mind, because a group of people work to destroy the mind. So I should not have any thought. Let me keep removing all thoughts. That's why you know what? Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. So what is the popular translation? Cessation of the thought is called yoga. So how to do this cessation? So they are manonasa, they use this word indirectly. However, here he says, no, it's not like that. Layam is being talked here because it is called swabhavika sthiti, abiding within myself naturally. So continuing, udeti bhavato vishwam baridheriva budbudaha iti gyatveikamatmanam evameva layam braja. He says beautifully, Hey Bhavan, oh dear Bhavan, Bhavataha, with respect you, Vishwam baridhe budbud iva udeti. So the universe arises from you like a bubble from the ocean. Now, if you observe this point, the previous verse now is being given through the example. If the bubble wants to become ocean, what is to be done? What are the efforts bubble should put? By putting any effort, can that bubble become ocean? In fact, more the person or more the bubble puts effort, more will be away from ocean. That's why we say separation is not physically, separation is mentally. And here he says, look, as that happens, the relationship between bubble doesn't give way, bubble and the ocean. So also relationship between me and the universe. And the best example would be my personal space or personal universe. Imaginary universe, okay? All the imaginary universe is from you or from outside? Everything is created by you only, sustained by you. And again, when you try to understand what happens, the best example we give, this projection, for example's sake, that a lady especially is working in your house as a maid, very nice, so many years and all these things, and suddenly you discover your ring is missing, because the ladies, they have this problem. All the time they remove their rings, okay, as the ring is painful. They say, no, after all it is suffering, no more marriage ring, okay. So they want to keep that suffering outside. So engaged ring is over, marriage ring over, now only suffering. So this stands for suffering. So once in a while they throw somewhere here and there. Many people have this habit, okay. So, and suddenly you discover it is missing. You are not able to find it out searching. You are not able to find it out. Then what happens to you? First that comes, who is coming outsider. So this maid servant, so your eyes is on. And that day, suppose she calls somebody and she says, look, over telephone she speaks, I have to go to this, shop where they do this jewelry shop to exchange something. Now what will happen to you? You will go crazy. Hey, that means he has taken now, today is going. So you start projecting a different type of universe. Until how long? You discover the ring was underneath your pillow. The day or the moment you discover that ring is under the pillow, what happens to your projected world? So this vanishes or lion takes place, dissolution takes place. How? Instantly. So also this entire universe. And here he says, look, gives the example physically, bubble and ocean. So bubble is indeed ocean. But bubble think I am bubble. And wants to put effort to become ocean. Please, more it puts effort, more things goes other way around. So here he says, look, in this case, what we need to do? Iti gyatva ekam atmanam. So when the bubble knows that, look, I am one. I am the ocean. Once knows this, what will happen? The lion takes place. So you don't dissolve, like as I give you the example of projected world, that is ring related. You don't put effort to dissolve. It gets dissolved. So that getting dissolved is called clarity. Whereas when you try to put effort to dissolve, that means you are pressurized. So continuing, because I have to take few verses, okay? I have decided. Or else I will keep going in other way around. Pratyakshamapyavastutvad Vishwam nastyamale tvai Raju sarpaiva vyaktam Evameva layam vraja. He says, look, like, hey amale, it's a beautiful word he uses, okay, amala. So amala means what? Na mala iti, no impurity. Means here, the self that is pure, stainless self. So when there is no stain, so now this amale, you are that. Hey amale. Now what happens? Pratyaksham api vishwam avastutvat tvai na astiti. If you see that Really, if you observe pratyaksham api, the universe that is available for your perception, because you may say the first one example that budbud and ocean, the bubble and ocean, that is okay. Still there is a difference. I see bubble is different, ocean is different. To resolve that, he goes to next step. Pratyaksham api, even though directly perceived, so there is some type of difference between me and this universe. He says, no, not like that. Vishwam na asti, universe in reality does not exist. Avastutvat, because it is unreal. It is not truth. And how? He gives the example. Then what does it exist? He gives another beautiful example that is called Raju Sarpa Iva. The next example is a very practical example, Raju Sarpa. Why we take this example better than previous one, step by step. The snake that is visualized on a rope. Now it exists for the person. That's why the person shouts. Person takes the stick, cries, in fact is afraid of. Not only the person sees that, says, look, also person calls other people, same-minded people. They also say, oh, there is a snake. Now let us call other people. Now what happens to that snake? The length of rope becomes the length of snake. You can say, oh, such a long snake. The way rope is being put, a little bit, hey look, there is a hood. The size of rope becomes the size of snake. The color of rope partially becomes the color of snake. Can you see this point very carefully? Because snake exists in my eyes. It's pratyaksha for me. My eyes see. Not only I see, some other people see. And if you want to see, no, okay, one or two people, the same people, world is, everybody sees, world is different than this thing. No, then we give another example, that is what? Mirage. The heat wave and water. I see, you see, everybody sees. In fact, you discuss, hey, there is nothing called water, it is a mirage. Still you see or not? We all discuss in the car especially, hey, look, there is a mirage. So while discussing that there is a mirage, there is no water, but still we see. So that's another example we give, okay? And everybody sees. But whether you are running behind a mirage or not, it is your maturity. So also, world is visible, is experienceable, as the mirage is, and in a small way, in individualistic way, the rope and snake. I am able to experience the snake. But in reality, snake does not exist. How this happens? Now also me. And how this snake resolves into rope the moment there is a light. So moment you put the light, The snake reserves. You don't do anything. You don't have to chase away the rope. In fact, you don't see any more snake, you see rope. This happens through the physical light. So also, we give another one step ahead, this example, that mirage. You keep seeing, but because of internal light, your understanding, and how that understanding comes? Because your thirst has not taken over you. If thirst has taken over you, what will happen? So there is a hope. Maybe that is water, we do not know. Maybe. If your insecurity with reference to world has not taken over you, with this understanding, you will be able to see the world is unreal. Whereas if I see there is some type of insecurity in me, and through that insecurity I project my world or relate with the world, what will happen? Definitely, I cannot see the limitations in the world. I'll give you a beautiful example. Today I was writing the story, morning, so that's why I can share. Two friends were living together. One happens to be intellectual, logical, reasoning based. Other was very nice, accept situations, everything with devotion and trust. Both of them were looking for happiness. They traveled here and there. Finally they found a master and approached him that we both are friends, we want happiness. Will you please bless? The master smiled and said, look, I have two boons. And each one of you can choose if you want to be happy. Yes. The first boon is you can have all sort of riches so that you can become happy. You can buy happiness. Before the master could complete his sentence, the one who happens to be intellectual, reasoning, yes, I want that. Please give me that. Didn't allow the Guru to complete what is the next. Please give me that. Okay. Tathastu. Let it be so. Let it go. Then the next one, the other person was sitting there. The Guru asked, what about you? The person said, look, oh master, whatever you feel is right, please give me. Because I was confused, we both were confused, we came for solution. And I cannot decide, whatever you feel right, please give me. Then Guru said, look, now next boon is there, so of course you take it. And that boon is none other thing than this, that you will have a matured mind. This person took, both of went. Few years passed away, the person became richer and richer. He could manage to make people to listen to him, but mind never listened to him. He could make people to bend down to him, but mind never bent down to him. Day by day, of course, he was becoming powerful, but deep within was afraid. Externally strong, internally weak. And one day he thought, why not go and meet the other friend, what is happening? Let me see him and show him also who am I, both ways. See and show. Because sometimes you don't see people, you go there to show off yourself. And most of the time, this so-called socializing is nothing seeing others. Oh, I am going to see my friends. No, to show or to find out. However, when that person came, discovered this person doesn't have much means, with limited means, was happy, comfortable. The moment he came, say, come, please, how are you? Very genuinely asked, oh, very nice, I have heard a lot about you, you are doing well. And this person says, what is happening to you? Hey, you don't have much things, but still, you look very contented, happy. He said, look, whatever master blessed, with that I am comfortable because I don't need anything. And the best part is, whatever comes, I am ready to accept. And my mind listens to me. That time, the rich friend said, I think I made a mistake. If you don't mind, can I stay with you for some time? So that instead of my wealth and other things influence me, let you influence me for some time so that I can go back as a different person. So this is what the understanding, this point is resolving the doubt. So I create the doubt in me. I strengthen the doubt in me. And this is to be handled, and he gives two examples. One is fear with reference to snake. Other one is going for water called mirage. It's not here, we gave this example. And this is to be done without running behind, but we need to do what? We need to resolve with understanding. Why? Because all are avidya kalpitatvatiti. So it is the projection of my ignorance. And once ignorance is taken care, then things will be taken care. Continuing. Samadukha sukham purna asha nairasayo sama shama jivita mrityu san evameva layam braja. He says beautifully, again also we need to see that how to look at, correct if I am right, I have told the same right verse or not? I hope so, because I saw some different reaction, so that's why. Hey son, okay, so hey son means don't translate oh son, okay? It's not that, okay? Oh son means here that oh existence one, oh being, itartha. Sukha dukkhayo samaha asa nairasayo samaha jivita mrityo samaha purnaha evam eva layam braja. Now if you look at, he says, look, sama dukkham sukham purnam asa nairasayo samaha sama jivita mrityu san iti. In fact, that person exists. I am putting it little differently. You are alive. Or you can say truly exist, or you are really alive. When you are able to manage, bringing equality between pleasure and pain, hope and despair, life and death. If the gap between opposites very high, then what will happen? Definitely, you are not living, you are dying. That's why we are not living beings. Ghosts are walking. You understand? We can be called as living ghost. So they are called dying ghost, or they are ghost. We are called living ghost, okay? Here he says, look, the whole concept here is nothing. How this Atmanishtha, to be established. The commitment towards self. How? Samatva, bringing the sameness. Because I know that Atma is Nitya Suddha iti. Buddha. Even if it is Nitya Suddha, that means what? Between Sukha and Dukkha, there should not be any bheda, any difference. But I have big difference. So the whole process is, I have to understand Sukham Dukkham is based on Upadhi. The Karanam is Upadhi. Why I am happy? Because I thought something that happened. Why I am unhappy? I thought something that didn't happen. Correct? That's why we say we create a void. By fulfilling that void is called happiness. So the more you are able to create a void and more you are able to fulfill, you are a happy person, jumping person. It is exactly like, you can cut your hand and let the bleeding come, then rush to the hospital, and then after that put a first aid and everything. I am very happy now. How's it? That's why we have been trained it from our childhood. When we fall down or something happens, even if leg breaks, suddenly we say, what? Thank God only leg broke, not other things. One leg broke, not two legs. If two legs broke, thank God head did not break. Good way of surviving. So if that happens naturally, why can't everything happens naturally? So here he says, look, the whole concept is I create void and I try to fulfill, I become happy. And when there is a void created by me, I am unhappy. So that means what? Happiness and unhappiness is created by me. So when I say I am happy, what does it mean? I create. When I say I am unhappy, it is me who has created. And here he says, look, what is to be done? To understand that Atma is Nitya Suddha. It is Asangaha, Avikara. I am using this word because you are all are qualified people, okay? That's why what is to be done? So that means what you need to do. In this Atma, all this Upadhi plays its role, like how this on ocean, on this water, because air comes in, the bubble pops up. So bubble is nothing, water plus air. But please understand, bubble is still water. And again, the air will go away, bubble will burst, again go back to water. So Upadhi's job is to create something. Let it create. Let me not get carried away. That's why he gives another example. Raju Sarpavatiti. How the snake is being seen on a rope. So that's why one is supposed to work on what? Atmanishta. By handling, by managing Deha Abhimana. And once Deha Abhimana is being handled, managed, I am happy. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.